What's up, everybody? This is Unnecessary Bluntness. I am Aaron Duncan, and you guys know I start off every video by saying, "What up, dude?" This is the channel where I might not tell you what you want to hear, but I'm definitely going to tell you what you need to hear. And I get recap and analysis of the NFC South and basically the Panthers. So I'm here with a reaction video to the third preseason game, the dress rehearsal for the Carolina Panthers versus the New England Patriots. And I know you guys have heard about Cam Newton and his injured foot, and I just want to talk about that to start off with. We got to. This is the biggest news. This can make or break the Panthers season depending on the severity of this. But hey, real quick, let me know down below in the comments, what do you think about Cam Newton's injury? Are you panicking about our season? Are you feeling a little bit uneasy like me? What do you think about Cam Newton? And what do you think about the team performance? We pretty much laid an egg and only scored 3 points. However, we held their first team offense to only 7 points also. So there's some good and bad, but let me know what you guys think about Cam Newton and the team in general down below in the comments. I was just thinking, man, life is sometimes funny, man. I just think to myself, like, did I do something bad to deserve this type of stuff? Like, the season hadn't even started and Cam gets hurt in preseason, you know what I'm saying? He only plays 3 series and they were garbage overall for the offense. I mean, the protection was horrible. Cam was running for his life. He did look kind of antsy in the pocket and he did hold on to the ball pretty long, but he finished like, what, 4 for 6 for 30 yards, and the offense pretty much overall was just garbage. Like I said, there were 8 possessions in the game. 7 of those possessions ended in a punt. 1 was a field goal and garbage time at the end. And just to get back to Cam, like, I just don't know. Like, there hasn't been a lot that's been talked about. The injury was like some kind of non-contact. He was trying to change directions. I don't know if his cleat maybe got hitched up in the turf or whatnot, but it was pretty much non-contact. We saw him go to the injury tent and get looked at, and then he went to the locker room at halftime, did not come out for the second half. All we know is in post-game, he had a boot on. They asked Rivera about it, and he said he didn't know anything except for a boot. He purposely doesn't talk to the trainers before he meets with the media. That way he doesn't have to lie to anybody. And I understand, and he really doesn't have to reveal anything anyway because we're not playing a regular season game, so he has no obligation by the league to disclose any extent of Cam's injury. Cam will be evaluated. He did have x-rays in the locker room. They didn't say anything whether they were positive or negative because they don't have to. So we're going to be left in limbo, and I hate it because we're going to have to pretty much figure out what's going on ourselves. There's going to be a lot of assumption and panic over these next couple of days. I'm not going to lie, I'm feeling a little bit uneasy. One Twitter doctor said he thought that it wasn't anything serious. If it was a real game, Cam would probably go back in. Cam was definitely in obvious discomfort, and like I said, we saw him leaving in a boot. However, he was carrying his own stuff and putting his own weight on it, no crutches or anything. So I don't know how you want to feel about that. You can take that for what you want to. I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV. So I don't want to assume, but I can't lie. My mind's playing tricks on me, and I've been thinking about the worst. Well, so I just got word that Cam Newton actually has a sprain. The x-rays came back negative on a break in his foot. It was a sprain. He'll have further tests in the morning. So I don't know what a sprain means. I don't know what part of the foot he sprained. Some people have been saying 1 to 4 weeks on the sprain. So we'll see what that is. I know we have 2 or 3 weeks to a regular season. So we'll see how that's evaluated. It's crazy that he looked pretty decent with his shoulder. He looked pretty comfortable with the throwing motion. However, 1 step forward and 2 steps back, man. It really sucks, but it's part of the game, injuries are, but this sucks. I know a lot of people are gonna be questioning if Cam should have even played in the preseason at all, and I'll probably make a video about that also. So we'll see what happens. Just to talk about that, because if Cam is out, what do we have after that? So let's talk about these backup quarterbacks, and they didn't look that great either. I think Kyle Allen was the second one off the bench, followed by Will Greer. Taylor Heinicke did not play at all. And that was just because of time's sake. Kyle Allen got a pretty solid amount of playing time. It looks like once Cam came out, most of our offensive starters came out, at least from the skill position-wise, except Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore. Kyle Allen didn't look great again. He didn't struggle as bad, but he didn't look great either. But the protection wasn't great overall either. The offensive line definitely struggled. The Patriots do run a 3-4 themselves, similar to us, but they run it a lot better. They came with a lot of twists and stunts and blitz, and it really confused us. They got some pretty good jumps. Cam was sacked twice in 3 drives, which is not great at all. You know what I'm saying? So he would look kind of antsy in the pocket. Was it because he hasn't played in a while? Probably. But at the same time, you want to see him trying to shake that rust off. But Will Greer didn't look that bad as before, but he didn't look great either. He scrambled around. He had some check downs, and he looked a little bit more composed in the pocket when blitzes came. So it is what it is. Do we need more answers at quarterback? I'll probably make another video about that too. I know there's been some Kaepernick rumors going around, so we'll see about that. However, our stars did return. Christian McCaffrey did return. He had 3 carries, I think, for 16 yards, which looked pretty good out there. And he had a catch for 10 yards. He did have a kind of a drop that was kind of a bad pass, but it was on a screen pass. It looked set up pretty well. But overall, we know what Christian McCaffrey can do. He looked very good out there. He's done for the rest of the preseason. Greg Olsen was out there. He had his little 1 catch for 4 yards. So good to see Greg running around out there also. So the wide receivers, I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but the Patriots, we know what they do. They blitz and bring some stuff, and they run a lot of man coverage. And from what I saw in a lot of the plays, I mean, we didn't do a ton of offensively anyway, and I know Norv Turner likes to keep it very, very vanilla. However, they guys were struggling to get open on some plays. I know Kyle Allen tried to force a couple deep balls, and we tried to challenge that pass interference, but it didn't stand. But these guys had a little bit of trouble separating, which is kind of why Cam was holding onto the ball a little bit long. I know Norv Turner likes to run a lot of crossing routes. So he can get a lot more complicated and sophisticated with the offense when we're running the full playbook. But I was a little bit discouraged about what I saw. I mean, this is the best team in the league, in my opinion. So it was a good measuring stick for us. And it just shows me that we have a lot of work to do offensively. Even though we have some weapons, beating up on our own defense does not prove anything to me at all. But speaking of that defense, let's move on to the defense. Luke Kuechly returned to action tonight. He did have 1 tackle just to get his feet wet. He came out, like I said, with when Cam and Christian McCaffrey came out. However, the rest of the starting defense pretty much stayed intact as far as the secondary and the front 4. I'm not going to lie, I was a little disappointed. I expected our defense to be fairly dominant with the personnel we have. Yes, I know we're still kind of working out some kinks with this 3-4, but we were getting gashed, man. The Patriots pretty much had the perfect scheme for it. Sony Michel was gashing us like crazy. I mean, he was breaking. A lot of the stuff had to do with missed tackles from our front and our linebackers. Is that because we don't get to hit that much in practice because we take it easy and don't go full pass? Maybe, but you don't want to develop bad habits. I would like to see us improve our tackling for sure. And of course, like I said, Luke Kuechly is the anchor of that defense. So hopefully he can make a difference with him and Shaq in the middle of this 3-4. But I was a little bit disappointed in our defensive front. They struggled to get pressure on Brady. Yes, Brady does get the ball out quick, so it is very, very tough on the guys we had because we don't have any pure speed rushers on our starting front 3 or 5, whatever you want to call it, when we bring Mario or Bruce Irvin. So I was a little bit discouraged about that, but understand what Tom Brady does. He gets that ball out very, very quickly. However, in the run game, these guys were struggling to get off blocks to a certain extent. You don't want to be a block magnet. You want to shed those blocks, especially a guy like Gerald McCoy. He's a very good penetrator. K'Wan Short, who's very quick off the line, who's a penetrator also. But we did see a Dontari Poe sighting. This is the first time I ever seen him make a play as a Panther, and he pretty much got a sack on Jarrett Stidham, the backup quarterback for the Patriots, so that was good. But let's talk about our rookie first-round pick, Brian Burns. Your boy added 2 more sacks tonight. Yes, he added 2 more sacks. That brings him up to 4 sacks for the preseason. So you got to like what you see from him, just with the speed, the quickness, the vision to keep his eyes on the quarterback, and the effort. What I would like to see from him is what Ron Rivera also said too, is see him listen and make certain plays when he could do it on his initial rush. He's a speed guy, so I don't want to see him have to make plays on effort and have the quarterback have to scramble out for him to be able to make a play, because he had a strip sack, but F.A. Obata came up the middle with interior pressure, which flushed the quarterback out of the pocket, allowing Brian Burns to clean up for the sack. I do like what I saw there with the effort, like I said, to finish the play. But you want to see Brian Burns get to that quarterback with his initial rush, with his speed and quickness, and getting off that ball. But got to be happy with what you see from your friendly neighborhood sack artist, is what I've heard him be called, because he got the Spider-Man nickname. So you got to like what you saw from Brian Burns out there tonight. The secondary was actually pretty solid tonight. They didn't make a ton of plays, but Dante Jackson made a lot of good tackles in the run game. Eric Reed was pretty solid in the secondary, actually making tackles. He did have a dirty play, and they've been assassinating him on Twitter, so I'll make another video about that also. But Bradbury actually made a play on the ball. He looked pretty good. I mean, he wasn't going against the best receivers. Julian Edelman did not play tonight. Josh Gordon didn't play tonight, but you can only play the hand that you're dealt, and he looked pretty good. And pass coverage, making a couple plays on the ball. But like I said, the secondary is fairly solid. Trey Boston got the start. Rashawn Golden did not travel with the team. It was not performance related, according to Ron Rivera. Vernon Butler also didn't travel with the team. He was back home rehabbing, and I think he may be on his last leg. Overall, man, it was just kind of hard to watch this game and evaluate after seeing Cam Newton get hurt, man. We know he's the heart and soul of this team, man. Our season is pretty much lost if he's not going to be available for us. I'm preparing for the worst, but hoping for the best. I like to taper my expectations. I don't want to panic. It's still early, but I do think we may need to look at some outside options when it comes to backup quarterback, because I'm not sure these guys we have on the roster can be it. They can miss a few games to start the season. But I don't want to jump to any conclusions on that. But like I said, you definitely need to have good insurance behind him at quarterback. And I'm not sure Will Greer or Kyle Allen can be those guys. Other injuries with Greg Little, he got carted off. Apparently, he was in a concussion protocol. He said he was fine when he was asked by reporters, but I don't know if he actually got evaluated, or he was diagnosed with a concussion. I'm not sure. But that was the only other injury from what I saw. Like I said, Galton and Butler didn't travel. But overall, my final thoughts, I was a little disappointed, man. I was very hyped, as you probably saw on the live stream that I do every Wednesdays on the channel, so make sure you guys tune in just to plug that in. But I was very excited to see how we performed. I wanted to see if we actually lived up to the hype that we looked like on paper, and I don't think we did. You know what I'm saying? The only lone bright spots were Brian Burns. Jordan Scarlett did do okay. But the running back position, we didn't really get to evaluate a ton of stuff because it was kind of out of order. Elijah Holyfield didn't play at all himself either. Jordan Scarlett got a decent amount, and Bonifant was out there making plays too. Bonifant and Scarlett did look good out there, so I did like that overall offensively. Like I said, our receivers, I'm not going to read too much into it because I know they have speed, but McCourty brothers did a pretty good job of locking those guys up on the outside. But like I said, North Turner kept it pretty basic. Cam, get healthy, man. If you're watching this, get healthy, man. So we'll see what happens. We got to bounce back, man. It was a measuring stick, this game was, and we see where we are, so we know we need to improve. So hopefully this motivates guys to get back to work and get ready for the regular season. Hopefully this 3-4 thing is us getting gashed at the running game was just good scheming by the Patriots, because they did run a lot of trap plays. If you don't know what that means, look up what a trap is. It's a running play, but it was tough, man. So you guys let me know down below in the comments, what do you think about Cam Newton's injury? Are you panicking about the season? Do you think we should go hire a backup quarterback, better backup quarterback, just to make sure that we have proper insurance until Cam gets back if he's going to miss time? Let me know down below in the comments. But without further ado, I'm Aaron Duncan signing off with Necessary Blunt and Sports Talk. I'll see you next time.